For example, if important habitat structures like giant kelp forests are found, the plans will be altered to ensure that there is minimal impact. The whole proposed development is often moved to an area without such important ecological features. In the 5 years I've worked as a marine environmental consultant, I've never seen the scale of this impact in the marine space. How is this not a significant unavoidable impact? What legal mechanism allows this to happen when every other industry has to abide by the federal laws? Not a significant unavoidable impact. What legal mechanism allows this to happen when every other industry has to? When I look at this landscape scale destruction, I cannot understand how this is allowed to happen, especially given the restrictions in the marine space and EPBC regulations. The forestry industry is the only industry that the EPBC Act does not apply to. The forestry industry is the only industry that the EPBC Act does not apply.
When I was a kid in California, I remember how proud every
decade, I've been travelling to the world's most iconic mountain bike destinations. So I know Tasmania has all the essential elements, like mountains, forests, and clean rivers that's needed to truly become a world-class destination for the entire sport. But add into that mix the biggest trees in the southern hemisphere, and us Tasmanians have something truly unique.
I remember my parents taking me into the bush when I was just a little kid. And I guess that being in the forest has always been what I've done. They taught me to look up and listen to the birdsong, to look down for orchid species, and to identify all the types of plants and animals that most people might just walk past.
When I was a kid in California, I remember how proud everyone was of our giant forest redwood tree.
So it's pretty easy.
When I was a kid in California, I remember how proud everyone was of our giant forest redwood tree.
So it's pretty easy.
Also flowering forests.
And environmental sustainability that can benefit all parts of our communities. But looking out at this, a burnt out clearfell right at the beginning of the Styx Valley Tourist Road just seems totally crazy. This patch of hillside should be full of giant trees and yellowtail black cockatoos. Getting to know a patch of forest with hundreds of massive tall trees right near the bike park, then seeing firsthand its destruction is what has inspired me to do something. It was personal. It's not even hard to find big trees that are about to get logged. The next patch of forest, just up the road from here, is where I found 3 trees over 5 metres wide.
Every arborist has to cut trees down, and that's definitely a part of it. But that's not why I do it. I'm into looking after trees. A lot of an arborist's job is about educating people on the value of their trees. This job is a perfect example of that. The homeowners got me in to remove this tree, but I was able to convince them of the value of retaining it for its habitat values. This entire area was a temperate rainforest and wet sclerophyll forest, stands of giant trees everywhere. Today there are just islands of old growth, tiny patches of remnant big trees in between clear fells and regrowth. It might be hard to imagine, but 100 metres from this clear fell is the tallest tree in the southern hemisphere, Centurion. You would think this place would be loved and respected, a national park or World Heritage listed, but just have a look at it. We're going into